So thank you everyone. Again, we're going to continue to follow the teaching of the gracious or generally gracious teacher of the Buddha Shakyamuni, and particularly is highlighted by the Jabji Rinpoche. We're going to these essential teachings known as heart advice to the fortunate students, or heart instruction for the fortunate practitioners. So that is the title, and we're going on this subject is continually. And I kind of lay out, or we started with the layout and following the voice and the teaching of the great Master Untitled. And so we divided these kind of three frames into teaching or the practice. Those are known as the three nobles. Beginning noble as a foundation, and middle noble, second noble as the principal part of the practices, and then third noble is the conclusion of the practices. So these three noble, we kind of combine our practice within this frame, then this teaching practice is completely goes perfectly, beautifully, in order to benefit for all living beings, and at the same time also activate and get enlightenment. So this is the word that great master, lineage masters taught us. Is very practical instructions. So we kind of following that instructions. And now is the beginning part. Beginning part, again, generally all the teachings, whether you're studying, contemplating, meditating, or the practices, I'm just using the practice in meditating two words because generally meditation is actually this, it also encompasses all the practices, but generally meditation with chanting, meditation with silence. Whether that is, so that's what I'm doing, kind of practices and meditation, two different things, but reality is the same. And so that whatever we do, meditative activities, that is always good. So important to have the beautiful motivation, and those are I always highlighted, and as well as all the teachings I mentioned, and which is then joy and appreciation, and bodhicitta, and then devotion. So with it, purely the understanding or the realization of Vajrayana teachings. So those are generally, and particularly also when we're talking about the three nobles, among the three nobles, that first is motivation, and which is, then I started discussing a little bit of meaning of the devotion or the pith, and then I start talking now Bodhichitta. We've been talking on the Bodhichitta. Even it's taking a little time to go through this because I'm going a little bit detail each of those meanings so that we can touch to our heart and absorb the meaning to the heart. Bodhichitta is, of course, we all know that is so important. It is a compassion, is wisdom, but yet how to explore the meaning, the flavor of the teaching, so that we can put it into practices. That is my intention, going a little bit details on this point. And then also, particularly this time, the situation kind of, we're not completely kind of rushing to the things because we are doing like kind of retreat. Alone with situation, circumstances kind of like created as a doing retreat. We are basically, mostly all are we in our own places, sitting there. So they don't have to be limited by the 1 week or 5 days or 3 days. Something is we kind of in a home. We are really practicing, learning the technique of the modern technique. We are really kind of developing our knowledge, understanding, or to some degree we are clarifying our memories of all the teachings in all the books we read. So those are the reasons I'm going a little bit slowly, those each points. And so now we go again with the Bodhichitta. And now, I said yesterday, we explained or we went through a little bit about the nature of the Bodhichitta. Nature or identity of the Bodhichitta. And we made also the word meaning of the Bodhichitta. Word meaning of Bodhichitta. These names are generally very important Because when you have this meaning of the word, it really tells the essence of the meaning. What is Bodhichitta is? That mind of enlightenment. That is right. I mean, it's very, very powerful, very, very targeted title. Enlightened mind. Where is that enlightened mind? It's not outside. Each of us, that we all have this enlightenment mind. But we have to now recognize this jewel, this preciousness, recognize, and then have to activate it. That is what this Bodhichitta is. Then with the meaning of that title, or the whole meaning of the Bodhichitta, we went nature, the identity of the Bodhichitta. Nature and identity of the Bodhichitta has two principal meanings: compassion and the wisdom. That combined, or loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. That is really the Bodhichitta, and which is also our mind, our nature of the mind. Love is our mind, compassion is our mind, wisdom is our mind. That is what the really Bodhichitta. But this time, not just a love, not just a compassion, not just a wisdom, we are expanding the love and compassion. To whom? To all the beings with 6 realms. That is what the beauty of the Bodhichitta. Extending. Otherwise, everyone has love and compassion, even for their own surviving purposes or our own surviving purposes. We need love, we need compassion. Without love and compassion, we won't survive. But this time, not the kind of talking about the surviving situations, but how to intensify, how to glorify, how to expand the Bodhichitta without any border. Love without a border, compassion without a border, and the wisdom that understands everything so perfectly clear, exactly as it is. That is the deal. That is really talking, we are talking, the true nature. Until now, all this love and compassion, wisdom, are completely limited. It's restricted. In a way, it's very narrow and kind of like all as restricted, everywhere is borders. But this time, we're breaking that border and extending the love and compassion beyond the borders. That is what the Bodhichitta is, nature of the Bodhichitta. Loving compassion and loving kindness and compassion is projected for all the living beings, and wisdom is projected to get enlightenment. And these two came together. And that is really the known as Bodhichitta. And now that nature, that is the identity of the Bodhichitta. Once we do that, then Bodhichitta can be divided subdivisions. I go over that. And we developing Bodhichitta according to the willingness of the Bodhichitta I mentioned yesterday. King like Bodhichitta, shepherd like, seller like Bodhichitta, shepherd like Bodhichattas. Those are, I mentioned, those are the according to how the willingness of the Bodhisattva, how they like to do, how they like to develop the Bodhichitta and benefit for all living beings. Particularly, how to benefit for all the sentient beings. King like Bodhichitta, seller like Bodhichitta, and shepherd like Bodhichattas. So those are the 3 subdivisions. Now again, the Bodhichitta is not just for a short period of time. The moment we enter the path of enlightenment, this Bodhichitta goes all the way to Buddhahood, enlightenment. Therefore, according to the path in Bhumi, and we all heard 5 paths and 10 bhumis. And so therefore, Bodhichitta is intensifying each path or each bhumis when we advance. And stronger and stronger and wider and stronger, and then it is really developing Bodhichitta. Accordingly that way, and then Bodhichitta also divided 4 kinds of Bodhichattas. And how that is. And the teaching said, first 2 paths, among the 5 paths that you all heard, and I'm sure you read all in the books and everyone, that 5 paths, first is known as the accumulation path. Second is the application path. So that is the 2 path. That 2 paths will connect to the first bhumi. And then how many bhumis? Bhumi is a Sanskrit word, how many levels anyway? How many levels? That is, there is 10 bhumis or 10 levels. 10 levels, if they say again, 10 levels divided into 2 groups. And that is, first 7 bhumis. That is first 7 bhumis. And then how many now left? To make the 10 bhumis, only 3 bhumi or 3 levels are left. Those are known the last 3 bhumis. So now I'm again going back to what I said. The first 5 paths, among the 5 paths is first 2 paths will connect to the first bhumi, which is, I already said, the accumulation path, application path. That time, the Bodhichitta is known as the arising or carrying up Bodhichitta with the beautiful intentions or aspirations. So that is what first the stage of the Bodhichattas, with the beautiful aspirations, carrying or conducting the Bodhichitta with the beautiful aspirations. So that is the first and the second path. And the third path, known as in according path level that you all know, is seeing path, but according bhumi, this is now the first bhumi. First bhumi all the way to 7th bhumi. Bhumi, that Bodhichitta is known as the spiral intention, okay, carrying on the Bodhichitta with the spiral intention. That is my translation roughly. But of course you can look in the different dictionaries how they translate it. So that is the Bodhichitta from the first bhumi till 7th bhumi. 7th bhumis. And next last 3 bhumis, which is at the bhumi, 9th bhumi, 10th bhumi. That bhumi or levels of the Bodhichitta is known as fully ripening Bodhichitta, fully maturing or fully ripening Bodhichitta. That is the 3rd degree state of the Bodhichattas. And then the 4th Bodhichitta is known as Bodhichitta, which is completely purified all the obscurations. All the obscurations. That Bodhichitta is with the Buddhas, the enlightened beings. Buddhas. Now I will go back again to those their meanings. First one is first part and the second part. Why it is known as carrying the Bodhichitta with beautiful intentions or aspirations, I translate it. In Tibet, it is called Mupi Jope Senji. I mean, this is very popular terminology in the Mahayana Buddhism, and as I said, you can look on the dictionaries. You can see the word meanings. But what that means, the first three part, our realization is, particularly our realization of the emptiness is on the theory, not really have the perfect realizations. It's called theory. In the teaching said, at the accumulative part, that you know the meaning of the emptiness or the absolute truth, you understood that. You understood what that means. With the courage and commitment and with inspiration, without doubt, you continually meditate and practice, then reach to the second part, application part. Application part, that absolute truth, that individually experience absolute truth. Now the first you understand, now that become more stronger, and then you understanding of the absolute truth with some degree experiences. So therefore, this time, those bodhisattvas who are the first and second, those are in a path, they are still with the emotions. But yet they have a very beautiful motivation and strong courage and commitment, keeping up the aspiration of the Bodhichitta, and therefore it's known as the arising beautiful motivation Bodhichattas. Now, when we continue to keep that practices, now what we reach? To the first bhumi, or according path level, we are in the seeing path. Seeing path, you see the true nature, or that means emptiness, exactly as it is, particularly egolessness. Egolessness is really, we see exactly as it is, not in the theory, not just the intellectual understanding, but exactly seeing that. Particularly in the teaching said, those bodhisattvas, when they meditating, on that meditation status, there is no egos at all, completely vanished. But in the post-meditation status, they have still some kind of residues or the subtle emotions. And therefore, therefore it's called seeing path. What you've been practicing at the accumulation path all that time, now truly we see. This is now not just theory, it's not just presumption. Now you begin to show exactly face to face true nature or the emptiness of the egos. And to some degree, all these phenomena existing is also like magic, dream, and mirages that you perceived, that realization. And that, therefore, it is known as highly or superior intention, pure conduct of bodhicattas. That is then very good. And that goes all the way to the seventh bhumi. It stretches all the way to seventh bhumi, until seventh bhumis. Then, the third one is, I translated as fully ripening of the maturity. What that means? Fully ripening of the aspiration of bodhicattas. It is really ripening. So that means all the aspirations, all the prayers, what we wish to fulfill the bodhicitta activity to benefit of all living beings, purify our obscurations, obstacles, now in the at the bhumi, and the ninth bhumi, and the 10th bhumi is actually happening. That ripening, maturing, wishes are coming true now. Coming true. Therefore, it is known as Bodhicitta of the maturing Bodhicitta. And now, in the Buddhahood, when you reach Buddhahood, then it's known as Bodhicitta that purify all obscurations. Now no obscurations. Now what kind of Bodhicitta Buddha has? Buddha has the absolute Bodhichitta. Absolute Bodhichitta. Relative to Bodhichitta is completed, but this absolute Bodhichitta is now fully developed without any obscurations. Therefore, it is known as fully developed or fully purified obscurations of Bodhichitta. Dripping power senchis in its Vedas. So those are divided according to the part in the Bhumi level of the Bodhichitta. Then Bodhichitta can be divided again or can be understood in according to truths. How many truths? All the truths according to Mahayana can be summarized into two truths. Relative truth and absolute truths. So this is two truths. And therefore, the Bodhichitta can be divided into two truths. That which is simple, relative truth Bodhichitta and absolute truth Bodhichitta. That's it, two Bodhichitta. And the relative truth Bodhichitta also can be divided now more two, particularly when we start practicing Bodhichitta, and then it's called, there's two Bodhichitta. Those are known as you all know, wishing Bodhichitta and actualizing Bodhichitta. Momba Simchi and then Yopa Simchi in the Tibet. Two Bodhichitta. Wishing Bodhichitta and actualizing or engaging Bodhichitta. Those are two Bodhichitta. Now, how we do this? How we to carry on these Bodhicittas? Wishing Bodhichitta. Wishing Bodhichitta, generally, again, you, as I said the other day, you should receive that blessings, lineage blessings, which is also known as vows. Those are, you can, according to the teaching, you should get those from the qualified or teacher that who has that wishing, Bodhichitta lineages. If somehow very difficult to have the teacher, then you can take Bodhichitta vows in front of the shrines, Buddha statues. Statues you can take. But do with offerings, do those ceremonies, follow the lineage instructions and take the Bodhichitta vows, and then later when you have the opportunity, you should also reactivate it or take again with the teacher who has those Bodhichitta vows and do that. That's the according instruction. So once we told the Bodhichitta vow, and now we're going to practice. We need to practice it as I said. Then true Bodhichitta, wishing Bodhichitta and actualizing Bodhichitta. Wishing Bodhichitta is our intention. Intention, I like to benefit all living beings. Really thinking strongly and see with compassion, see all the sentient beings, all the living beings going through so many difficulties, hard and troubles, ups and downs. It's just really going. Even their intention, gain, interesting to be happy, peaceful, joy, but yet they're not fulfilling all that. And at the same time, not just fulfilling that, same time, they also by the unknowing situation, they're creating more difficulty, troubles that will bounce back with very strong challenges. Their own creations by that, by their own mistakes. And a simple way to tell, our own mistakes, we create so much trouble to our own self. Thinking is good or something kind of like some solution or some relief, whatever, because gain interest to be happy, peace and joy, and then kind of like unskillfully, unknowingly, we create more cause and condition to be more trouble and more kind of challenges, ongoing burdens created by one's own self. That is going on and on and on, endless. That was taught by the gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, because seeing exactly as it is, and then in some degree we know ourselves too, how we go through in this samsara. Time we have the memories until now. When we look back to our life stories, we can look back to ourselves, how much things we done, thinking is good at that time, and ended up to kind of endless, chaotic, and troubles one after another. And that we do all the time. Everyone is doing that. Therefore, then, by the compassion, so really like to help to all the sentient beings to they can fulfill their final interest, final wish, have happy and peace, joy and fulfillment, and peace and harmonious. Really wish that strongly, and like to help, and with that intention, with that thought strongly, and then I'm going to do that. How I can help to all the beings, because I need more skills and more wisdom and understanding. Therefore, I'm going to practice, meditate, think of that. So that is known as wishing Bodhichitta. Now, how we carry on the wishing Bodhichitta? According to teaching, to summarize that, again, to simplify, wishing Bodhichitta carried by the pole boundless, that we all know, pole boundless. Boundless love, boundless compassion, boundless joy or the rejoice, and boundless equanimity. With that, then Tungli practice, which is quite popular words in the West, Tungli, and that is what it's called. First is equalizing myself and others, the one. The second is Tungli, and which is the giving our joy and peace to the others, and taking their suffering, difficulty mentally to self, and that is Tungli. And third is others are more important than ourselves, or one's own self. That. So those are three. The pole boundless, based upon the pole boundless, then this equalizing Bodhichitta practices, and the Tungli practice of Bodhichitta, and the others are more precious and important than one's own self with the practice of Bodhichitta. Those are all known as these 7 different things. This, if you put all the numbers, put 7. Pole boundless, 3 those. 3 this equalizing and exchanging, Tungli or exchanging, and others more important than myself. Those 3 makes, I think, 7. Those are known as the training of the wishing Bodhichitta in the mentally. Those are known as wishing, that mentally developing that. So this is wishing Bodhichitta. Now this wishing Bodhichitta, great masters, in the practice lineage, those great masters, such as Padma Rinpoche, all those they mentioned, and as well as all those ancient Gadam masters, such as Dorje and his disciples, all completely saturated their heart and mind and conduct with Bodhichitta. Really, truly marvelous, beautiful. Just their practice, the principal practice was Bodhichitta. And in their teachings, what in the teaching said that all this Bodhichitta is, if we simplify, it comes down to the compassion. Love and compassion. That is really Bodhichitta. Love and compassion for all living beings. Loving kindness, compassion. If we bring down that again to summarize it more simply, then it's compassion. It comes to the compassion. Compassion for all living beings. If that like to make simple kind of words in the common language, good heart. Good heart. That is what is really the Bodhichitta. Good heart, genuine good heart for all living beings without any discriminations. This is what also in the teaching said. For example, great master Atisha, he always emphasizing, encouraging to be good heart. When he meets students, he will say, did you have good heart? good heart. And when he gave the instructions, he said, be good heart. To be good heart. Good heart. In the teaching said, or in life story said, that one time Atisha got some uncomfortable his hand or pain. He got pain on his hand. He put his arm on the lap of his disciple Jonma. So he put his arm on the lap of the Jonma. He said, please bless to my arm because you have good heart. You have good heart. That's it. Even the blessings, if you want blessing, it's good heart. That's really. Atisha said to his disciple, bless my arm because you have good heart. That is what it is. The Bodhichitta in good heart. But good heart is not limited. Good heart for all living beings. That is really the Bodhichitta. So therefore, kind of like to be practical of the practitioners of the Mahayana and Vajrayana practitioners, always are trying to bring up attitude of the good heart, love and kindness, compassion to all the living beings, soft and gentle, respectful, down to the earth, humble and simple. Those are, according to Buddha teaching, the treasure and ornament and beauty of the practitioners. Humble, simple, respectful, and polite, kind, and when you look to the others, also look with the eye of the kind eyes, or with love. What gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, spoke with love, look to the others with love, sit with love, loving kindness. Those are really so powerful teaching. Simple, common, basic, but yet so powerful. When we have this loving kindness, the compassion, good heart, that is also perfect mindfulness. It is mindfulness. When you have that attitude and thought in heart and mind, our muscles, our nerve systems, and our body feel calm, peaceful, relaxed. See, just so, it completely kind of like another dimension of the levels of the physical systems. When we have the loving kindness, the compassion, or good heart, then in a normal time of all those busyness, stressful and worries and anxiety all that time, and love and kindness, compassion, other hand, just a simple, relaxing kind, reflecting that even for 2 minutes or 1 minute, it really makes a difference. We can feel that. I mean, not just talking, you can feel that. It's not just the Buddha said and the teaching said, it's true. We're talking to ourselves. It's not so talking some story behind the mountains, the other side of the planet story. It's true nugget, evidence, right? Ourselves is true. So that is what really the wishing Bodhichitta. And again, to go through this wishing Bodhichitta, then 4 boundless. I'm going to talk those 4 boundless slowly by slowly, and one after another as time permitted. And we go over there, and even we didn't complete it, although just during this retreat, we grabbed the perfect bite of the teachings, of the essential teachings. It's like teachings of the gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is the big apple pies or blueberry pies. Really, truly, wherever you eat, it makes flavor, it makes it perfect, it makes full satisfactions. It is because it's touching to our heart, our nature, our beauty. As I said, we're not talking the story of the behind the planets or the Mars or Jupiter or those Saturns. We're talking of our own treasures, going through one after another. How to reveal, how to beautify ourselves, to be beautiful for all the beings. Again, we down to the earth, calm, peaceful, respect. Be practical with the common sense. That is the meaning of the truth. Truth of the follower of the practice, Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Padma Samye. So that that's it. And then Paul Boundless, again, maybe I will list it. You all know Paul Boundless, boundless love, boundless compassion, boundless joy, or the rejoice, boundless equanimity. Those are known as Paul Boundless, that we all heard. And how that prayer goes, and as we chant every time with Buddha's heart, that is, may all living beings have happiness, cause of happiness. That is loving kindness, boundless love, prayers. And when we chant that, reflecting our mind with that meaning, this is very powerful meditation, powerful mindfulness practices. Really, reflect that, really thinking that. May all living beings have happiness. And then not just that, only happiness. To stay permanently happiness, you have to have cause and conditions. Everything is a cause and conditions. There's nothing is developing without cause and conditions. Therefore, to create a perfect, beautiful situation and circumstance of cause and condition, then happiness lasts forever. Therefore, we are wishing in short term and the long terms. Short time, they have the happiness. Long term, they have the cause and condition to bring happiness. All the living beings. So that means what in the teaching said. We're wishing, praying for the result and cause. Result, good cause and conditions, result is happiness. And so wishing that really stay forever, long time. Slowly, if we have time, chant, may all living beings have. Really wish that, strongly in heart, settling from the heart. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. That is loving kindness, boundless love. Then the next one is compassion. May all living beings have free from suffering and cause of sufferings. All living beings are free from sufferings. What they're going through right now, ups and downs. In the Buddha teaching, not just teaching, it's true. Getting old, sicknesses, and depressed, and old age, and then also dying. And then according to Buddhism, that also going to birth is the big processes. And there's so many challenges. They're going right now. All this. So that again, wishing our country, at least we put in intention as wishing Bodhichitta. May all living beings are free from sufferings. But not just only sufferings. The cause of sufferings. Cause of that very sufferings. And the condition of that sufferings. That cause and the conditions are not just came by itself without cause and conditions. It has cause, it has condition. That producing of that whole situation or that troubles. Therefore, sincerely, again from the sitting heart of the Bodhichitta, or good heart, really wishing may all living beings free from suffering. Whatever they're going through, whatever kind of suffering they're going through everyone free from the suffering and cause of sufferings. Wishing that with good heart. Think of this, so powerful, so genuine, so good heart. If we use common word, language, it's just simple, practical. Really wishing sincerely from. And what it does also, according to it, is knocking down our ego clingings and purifying our obscurations, ourselves. It is the meritorious practices. We're building up so much energy of the good vitalities, of the positive, in all our system, the bodies, in all our chakras, all channels, all our blood systems. Every muscle. And it is a source of powerful, so purification. It is big purifiers and big healers. There's so many beautiful stories that how those compassion, loving kindness healed suffering, the troubles, and purify the obscurations. One after another. So this is what the really those bodhicittas. Bodhichitta. So wishing bodhicitta is again, as I said, when we practice wishing bodhicitta, wishing means, of course, it's in the heart and the mind. So how we activate it, how we do exercise of that, with pour boundless. Pour boundless, and then once that kind of gets strong, then equalizing and tuning, exchanging, and then others are even more precious and important than one's own self. Those are known as exercising of the operating action of the wishing bodhicittas. And that is the heart practice of foundation, the heart practice of the bodhisattvas. And that is my brief talk for today about the bodhicitta, and still I'm going to go a little bit more on this tomorrow and so on. And so thank you very much everyone and for participating. And again, thank you. Thank you everyone. Okay? And then see you tomorrow too. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And now we do again our short meditation.